Okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen? If anyone can't, go ahead and unmute and say so, but it looks like it's sharing. Now, most of you that are on the call are on our 5-day Deluxe Plus experience that starts on December 29th and goes through January 2nd. I know there are a few that are on the Classic Plus experience, which starts on December 30th. For those that are on the Classic experience, once we get to December 31st, that's really where your program will pick up and be identical to the rest of the 5-day Deluxe Plus experience. So everyone should have received a link to this page that will give you arrival information if you're coming into John Wayne Orange County Airport, where the hotel offers a complimentary shuttle, and that runs 24/7. If you are flying into LAX, there is information here that you can click on for what you would need to do to arrange transportation from LAX to the hotel. There is our first thing on December 29th, once you arrive at the hotel, is going to be our welcome reception, our welcome dinner. When you do get to the hotel, though, we ask you to look for the Rose Parade Experiences desk, which should be just to the left of the main desk in the lobby. We will have all of your key cards so that you can easily get what you need. We'll hand you a fully timed itinerary copy to each of you. If you do want to potentially charge anything to your room, then you will need to stop at the front desk and leave a credit card on file just for any incidentals. But if you don't plan on doing that, then you don't need to leave a credit card on file. Our welcome reception is going to be at 6 p.m., and that's going to be in one of the hotel's ballrooms. And there will be plenty of signage once you're in the hotel showing where the different events are located. You will have plenty of Rose Parade experience signs directing you to where you need to be. After the welcome dinner reception, you'll want to get a good night's sleep because we're going to hit the ground running on December 30th. We're going to start with our float decorating tour. And this, to me, is probably one of the best parts of the whole tour. The float decorating gives you an opportunity to see probably as many as 10 to 12 different floats in their final stages of production. This is inside. It's inside a large warehouse. You'll be able to walk through a pretty good path and see the different floats that are being worked on. The smell is incredible with all those flowers and different plant life that goes into making the floats. If you've never experienced the parade before and maybe don't know a lot about it, all of the different colors that you see on the float are either a full blooming flower, petals, seeds, anything that was once a living plant type organism. I can remember a couple of years back, there was a float that had a section that was brown. And when I was able to see it up close at Float Fest on January 2nd, it ended up being potatoes. And that was what gave it the brown color. So being able to see that is something that's incredible. And it's something that you won't pick up just watching it on television. You have to be there in person to be able to see it. After float decorating, we'll head to Beverly Hills and have lunch at the famous Lowry's Prime Rib restaurant. I did not realize until my first time there in December of 2021 that the Lowry seasoning that I grew up with. Just a reminder, if you are speaking, please mute yourself so that we don't hear you during the presentation. But the Lowry seasoning in the green jar, that's originated not so much at this restaurant, but it was the same ownership that had a previous restaurant back, I think, in the 1920s. Bear with me just 1 second. I'm just going to mute a few people here. Okay. Then after Lowry's, lunch at Lowry's, then we will head to Paramount Studios for a studio tour. This is a guided tour, and it will be via golf cart. So there will be some walking, but most of it will be going around via golf cart. You'll should be able to visit a couple sound stages and most of the sites on their back lot. And then they do have a really nice gift shop with a lot of different items, memorabilia items for sale. it was a great experience the couple of times that I've been at Paramount, and I think you'll like it. If you're like me, there were so many different backlot places where I recognized either from television
Well,
shows or even recent commercials,
tell you
and
what,
it's just amazing at how
they
many
got
different
sure.
scenes you see during the course of watching TV that were filmed at Paramount. All right, now scrolling down to Wednesday, December 31st. Um, We'll be off to Catalina Island. We're leaving out of the port of Long Beach. It's approximately a 50 to 55-minute sailing. It's 26 miles from Long Beach to the port of Avalon on Catalina Island. And we do that on the Catalina Express Fast catamaran. It's a pretty nice ride. The last time I took the ferry during last year's trip, we had dolphins that were following us for part of the way. So that was kind of exciting to see them bobbing out up and out of the water.
Hmm.
Then let's see. Later on, after our return, we'll have our Gala New Year's Eve celebration. This will be a three-course dinner with a champagne toast. Then we'll have a Monte Carlo type style casino where you'll be
Whatever it
able
is,
to buy
2620.
chips, and then based on your winnings, you can return the chips to get raffle tickets, and then we'll be raffling off a number of different Rose Parade themed items. We'll have scarves, we'll have hats, we'll have sweatshirts, pullovers. I think we've got some bags that are Rose Parade themed. So anything that you can imagine that is themed with the Rose Parade, we'll have as part of that raffle. We'll be ringing in the new year starting at 9 p.m. that night for those that are from the East Coast. And we'll continue at 10 p.m. with the Central Time Zone and 11 p.m. for the Mountain Time Zone. And we'll stay till midnight if anyone wants to. But from the past years, by the time we hit about 10:30, everybody's gone. So it'll be an early evening for most people, but we'll stay as long as we need to. We're up early the next morning on January 1st to be ready for the parade. Breakfast that morning will still be a buffet type breakfast, but they will also have boxes so that you can kind of do a grab and go if you don't want to get up too early and you want to have a little bit of a breakfast on the motor coach, because we'll be leaving at 6 a.m. to make sure that we're in place for our grandstand seating by about 7 to 7:30 a.m. The grandstand seating is on Colorado Avenue,
So yeah, I'm
excuse me,
on the
Colorado Boulevard, approximately halfway down
we'll
the
get
parade
everybody
route.
sorry when we get there.
And just a reminder of those that if your phone or laptop's not muted, just to keep any conversations to a whisper. And let's see. And at the parade site, you'll be given both a a souvenir blanket seat cushion. It in its normal form, it's a cushion, but you can unzip it and turn it into a blanket. So if you want something to sit on, you can use it for that. But if you're cold and need a blanket, then you can unzip it and it'll be a nice souvenir blanket. You'll also get a parade program so that you can find out additional information about each of the parade floats and also the order that the floats will be coming in, as well as the different marching bands. And they do keep pretty much close to that schedule. Occasionally, there may be one or two floats or bands that are a little bit out of place, but for the most part, they stick to the schedule that's in the program. For those of you that have purchased tickets to the Rose Bowl, when we depart the parade site, we'll all get on one of the coaches so that we're all together, and then we'll be dropped off in downtown Pasadena, probably about 2 blocks from the site of the where the shuttles depart from to go to the stadium. I will be going with you, make sure everybody gets to the Rose Bowl and gets into the stadium. And then I will basically hang out in Pasadena until the game is over, and then meet you back at the shuttle location, and then make sure everybody gets on the coach to go back to the hotel that evening. For those that aren't doing the game and that are just going back to the hotel, once you get back to the hotel, we'll have a backyard style barbecue at the hotel, and you can relax and watch replays of the parade, or you can watch the Rose Bowl, which will be starting, I believe, at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. And then later on in the early evening, enjoy a hot musical performance by the Smoking Cobras. This will be in the same ballroom as the New Year's Eve celebration, and there'll also be some refreshments for sale as well. Then on January 2nd, our departure day, in the after breakfast in the morning, we're going to head to the post-parade showcase of floats. This is where all of the parade floats are going to be lined up on two different city streets that are right in front and on the side of Pasadena High School. You'll be able to walk amongst the floats and literally get to the point where you can practically touch them. There'll be different representatives from the parade and from the organizing committee for that particular float so that you can ask any questions about the theme for the float and maybe what went into making the float and what maybe was the reasoning behind choosing the theme that they did. And then once we are finished at Float Fest, we will head back to John Wayne Orange County Airport, drop everyone off that's departing that day, and then back to the hotel for anyone that is extending their stay or is departing by different means. Now, one thing I want to call into mention that was just sent out again today, because we just were made aware of this, is, and if you go back to the link that you received, that has all of the information, if you scroll down towards the bottom, there's a new feature that's been added, and it's information on the bag policy. So previously, we were not aware of a clear bag policy apart from the Rose Bowl game itself. But according to the Tournament of Roses parade, both the parade, Float Fest, Band Fest, and the game itself, and even the float decorating barns that we'll be at, only clear totes are allowed inside, apart from if you have a small clutch bag. In all situations, our coaches will be in secure locations so that if you want to leave anything on the coach while we're visiting the float barns or at the parade or at Float Fest, your items will be secure.
Gallon zip.
But this will give you further details on the dimensions and any qualifications for the bags to be able to be brought into any of the different events that are put on by the Tournament of Roses Parade Committee. All right, so that is pretty much the itinerary. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check and see if we have questions that have come in, and we'll go through the questions that have come in through the chat. Hold on one second, and then we'll go, and if anyone else has questions, we will answer those. Bear with me one second here. Okay. Let's see. The first question is, when does the studio tour end on the 30th? So it's going to be approximately 4:30. That will be on your timed itinerary that you receive, but approximately 4:30. So the next question is, what time is the dinner? So the dinner on the 29th, the welcome dinner, is at 6 p.m., and that's in one of the hotel ballrooms. And then the New Year's Eve dinner is going to be at 7 p.m. on the 31st. And let's see, another question is, if I want to go ziplining on Catalina, when should I make the reservations? What time do we have to be back to catch the ferry? Gotcha. So, Catherine, what I will do is I will email you tonight with those details. The ferry that you'll be on is going to leave Long Beach at 9:50 and get into Catalina Island at 10:50, and then it's going to leave Catalina at 3:55 and get back into Long Beach at 4:55. We do have a 50-minute island tour scheduled, but I will email you the timing of the island tour so that you can see the time frame that you could schedule the zip line tour for. Let's see. Next question. Aside from referencing local weather, any tips on what to wear for particular events? So I'll kind of start in the middle. For the parade itself, it's kind of hard to say. So I'm from Pennsylvania. It's normally cold in the winter. I found that when I'm at the parade, I'm wearing stuff that would be more conducive to spring or fall, because to me, this is warm, unseasonably warm weather. But if you're from the south, you're going to be cold. So just make sure that you bundle up. I would take a look at what the weather forecast is a day or two before. Typically, when we get there, since it's still early, it could be in the 40s, and that's going to be chilly. But by the time the parade gets going and the sun comes up and is kind of at our back, it could reach, close to 60 by the time the parade's over. So it's you kind of have to be prepared for both. I was literally in a vest similar to this and short sleeves, even at 6 a.m., and I was fine. But I know I'm a little bit different, so don't use me as a judge. I'm usually the last person to be cold and the first person to be too hot. Let's see. Can pepper spray be bought on the coaches? Is it legal in California? That is not a question I know the answer to, but I can find that out, and I will reach out to you in the next day or two with the answer to that.
Oh my God.
And let's see, what time does the bus leave for Float Fest for the airport? It's probably going to be approximately 10:45 to 11 a.m. I believe the instructions were to schedule flights for 1:30 or later. So
I have
if your flight's at 1:30 or later, you'll be there in plenty of time.
So
Let's see. Next question is, how many hours between the end of Lowry's lunch and pick up at the end of Paramount Studios? So the lunch at Lowry's is probably going to be over by approximately 1:30, maybe a little bit sooner, and then Paramount Studios probably going to be over at
29.
approximately 4:30. But I will send those out to you. I mean, you will receive a timed itinerary when you check in, so we'll have those details exactly. But I will reach out, Luke and Annette. I'll reach out to you, and we'll get that firmed up. And also, I will coordinate with Michael Salaga, who will be your tour host for the trip. Approximately how many people are part of this tour? So this particular coach is going to be pretty much full. I think we're going to be, including tour host, we're going to be at about 52, I believe, on a 56 seat coach. So we're pretty much full. Can you give Catalina Island details? What is the dress for dinner? What time do we leave the island? So to reiterate, that we leave the island at 3:55 p.m. on the 31st. As far as dress for dinner, the welcome dinner, I mean, can just be casual. There is not a particular dress code for the New Year's Eve gala, but I will say that people do tend to dress up a bit. Not necessarily, suit and tie, but a lot of the gentlemen are wearing at least jackets or, collared shirts. Some are wearing ties. Women tend to dress up a bit more, be a little bit kind of snazzy looking, but there isn't a particular dress code. Let's see. Is the New Year's Eve gathering at the hotel open to the public? No, it is just for our tour participants. Let's see. Were the tickets to the Rose Bowl? Were the tickets to the Rose Bowl offered as part of the tour? They were offered as an add-on, and they still can be potentially added. Just reach out to us, and we can look into availability. But it's definitely still possible. Okay, so that so far is all of the questions that were chatted in. Does anyone have any question that has not been? Oh, okay. So hold on. One more question came in. How do we reach you? So probably the easiest thing to do is to direct any questions to this email address, and I'm gonna type it in, but I'll also tell you what it is. It's going to be info@sportstravelandtours.com. This way, any of a number of people can access it.
There's the guy that just joined. Just showed his picture.
There we go.
That's probably in the paperwork somewhere.
All right. Why is that not sending? Hold on 1 second. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that now.
There
It's
it
in
is.
the chat. Make sure I spelled that correctly. Sportstravelandtours.com. Yes, I did. There we go.
Info.
Okay, so does anyone else have any other questions?
I had a question. We're flying into John Wayne. Do we have to call the hotel for the shuttle?
No, so there. Let me go back and share my screen here. Let's see. Okay, so you should have received an email that had a link to this page, and at the top where it says arriving into John Wayne Airport, if you click there, there's information on what to do when you get to baggage claim, where to go to meet the
Oh,
shuttle that takes you back to the hotel. There's also a phone number to call if for some reason you can't find the shuttle or something's going on. But the shuttle comes every 30 minutes at 15 and 45 minutes past the hour.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
I have a question.
Yes.
We're not given a whole lot of details by our local tour company. We did get this email finally last week. And so we have no information about the Rose Bowl. We have no information. Like, we separately booked extra days before the tour starts at the hotel, and I didn't know it was something we could add on.
Gotcha. So yeah, like I said, I don't know offhand who you booked through to get to us, but we do always have pre and post nights available, and we always offer the Rose Bowl as an add-on, and
Right.
it still can be added on now if it's something of interest. We can certainly look into adding that onto your package.
And how do we go about that? By emailing you?
Yeah, so if you email that info@sportstravelandtours.com, and then
Okay.
we can look into that and reach out to you, tomorrow and start working on that.
Okay. And can you just tell me how much are the tickets for
So
that?
we at this point it would vary. We need to look at it. We need to know how many people, and then we can give you a couple of different options in terms of seating locations based on what's available.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. The itinerary that we got covers Tuesday the 30th through Friday the 2nd. Can we still add the 29th?
Possibly. I would if you would email that info at sportstravelandtours.com, we can look in it and see if that's still available. I can't make any guarantees at this point, but we can look and see if that's still available.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Hello, Michael.
Hello.
My question is the day of the parade.
Yes.
After the parade, we meet somewhere and then we separate for the ones that are going to the game, correct?
So for those that are going to the game, and you'll have exact instructions probably the night before, if not before that, that after the parade, we're regardless of what bus you came on, we're all I think there's 9 plus myself that will go separately on one of the buses. We'll be dropped off in downtown Pasadena. It's usually about 2 blocks from the site of where they're running looping shuttles to the Rose Bowl. Then we'll get on the shuttle, get everybody to the stadium. I'll make sure everybody gets into the stadium. Once I know that everyone's in, then I'll go back into town, hang out for the game to be over. The instructions will be that 3 hours after game, 3 hours after the game has ended, we'll meet back at that location where the shuttle picked up in downtown Pasadena, and then we'll get on the coach to go back to the hotel.
So for us that are not going to the game, is there time to is there not a park that's close by that we could look at the floats, or that's just a separate day in itself?
So yeah, so after the parade's over, everybody else will get back on the coaches that they came on. go back to the hotel for lunch, and then there's the evening
Mm.
entertainment. But then the next morning is when we go to Float Fest,
Right.
where they have all the parade floats on
Yeah,
display.
I'm leaving before then.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, can't control the flights,
Yeah.
got to book them while you got them, I guess.
Yeah.
But okay, that was my question. I just thought maybe we had time after the parade to um sightsee.
Gotcha. Okay. Are there any other questions? All right. Well, if there's no other questions, I want to just make one quick introduction just because uh, he's going to be your tour host. So I'm going to introduce Michael Salaga. Michael, if you want to pop your camera on for a minute and say hello.
Here we go. Well, hello everybody. I'm very excited to be spending a good 5 days with you. I've done the Rose Parade a couple of different times. I've been to Catalina. I'm going to have all kinds of good information for you guys, but I can't tell you how excited I am to be hanging out with you guys for this trip. So I've known these folks at Sports Travel and Tours for quite a long time, and are borrowing me from their Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend trip. So we've had a lot of good experience working with each other. And so I'm just really super excited to be hanging out with you guys.
All right, great. Well, thanks, Michael. And I will also be on site, so I'm looking forward to seeing all of you, and we'll probably see you on the day of arrival and several times throughout the trip. So be sure to say hi, and if I don't see you. But thanks everyone for joining. Like I said, we did record this, so we'll send out the link sometime tomorrow. So if you need to watch it at leisure, or if someone that's traveling with you wasn't able to attend, you can share the link with them too. But thanks for joining us this evening, and have a great rest of your evening.
It'll be available tomorrow.